Hi friends, in our time together today, I'm introducing scale exercise 25 that you can use on both your low and your high D whistles to develop your dexterity, your speed, your ornamentation, the rhythms. This one I specifically found one measure out of Drowsy Maggie that I noticed in a couple other reels that I thought would be something we needed to work on. So I took that measure and I dropped it all the way down to the bottom of the D scale, and then I walked it up the scale and I did the same on the G. So this is what it sounds like or looks like. All right, it's that simple. However, you start walking up and down the scale, it's going to do a number of things for you that I'll talk about right after I introduce them. Now, this exercise, I've made music and tabs for it. I'll put a link to the page on my website at the top of the notes to this video so that you could access that page and download the music and tabs if you want. And like I said, this is just for a D whistle. I've got the Shush Pro here. You could play it on that as well as the low D. But today, my intent is to introduce it on the low D, and I'm using the Lear low D just because it's a newer instrument and I felt like it, and also because it's a little more quiet. And I'll explain that when I get to the exercise in G. Here is the exercise in D. Alrighty, that's the exercise in D. Now, to move to the exercise in G, remember, after I introduce it in G, I'm going to tell you about some of the ways to use the exercise, some of the best benefits I know you're going to experience if you use it. But in G, I want to remind us of a couple of things. Because I'm taking this all the way up to the top. We're working from the bottom of our whistles to the top in the combination of these two exercises. I don't want you to get stressed out over this exercise in G, but I want you to try it. Now, I've got us going up pretty high. Well, all the way up to the third octave D. Now, when you're playing in G, remember you're playing the C natural, which on the lower octave, the C natural for the Lear and most of the whistles I have is a good approximation of the second and third holes. All right. Now, when you get to the second octave C sharp is the bottom three holes covered. The second octave C natural is half-holing the first hole. So, let me see how I do. Okay? So you're going to uncover half of that. And I've got a video about that. Maybe I should stick a card up to that. So I'm asking us to go all the way up to the third octave D. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But here is the exercise in G. I missed the C natural on that second time. And you could tongue these to make it easier. See, did you hear that move into it? That's how you can find it. I finally played it. So, one of the things I realized I should add is I've made a fingering chart, a full fingering chart, and I'll put a link to that right under the link to the music and tabs for this, this exercise. You saw the difficulties I had. Sure, I could have recorded again to make sure you didn't see me have troubles, but I want you to see that this is not the easiest thing to do. Many excellent whistle players avoid these notes. I want us to be able to play every note on our whistle, and you do that by work, effort, practice. I intentionally put those extra measures in so that we had to work on it. If it's frustrating, then stop it before you have to go. So drop those two measures out. Please work on them though. So this exercise is designed for us to work on our speed because it's a real exercise. It's not just a real exercise, it's a real exercise. Boy, that was a dad joke. Now, a couple of things to pay attention to. Look for clean note transitions. Look for clean transitions between the octaves. Here's an interesting example. I'll see if I can flub it cleanly. On the D exercise, coming down, you might find yourselves you might not be picking those two fingers up from the A to the C sharp. If you find sloppy note transitions, go back and work on that. This exercise is intentionally designed to force us to work on these note transitions. So work on your note transitions, work on your note clarity, work on the bottom to the top of your whistle. Sorry about that. Then once you get the notes down, go back and start throwing in ornamentation, because this is done based on some phrasings you're going to experience in playing reels. So go back and start throwing ornamentation. But first, get the note transitions, get some speed, get your dexterity, get some octave transitions, get some work on those higher notes, and then go back and do the ornamentation. My friends, I know this is a rough exercise. I apologize, but I don't apologize, because I made this for me and I'm sharing it with you because we are a community helping each other grow as musicians and playing your whistles. I don't want you to avoid those highest notes. I don't want you to fumble in note transitions. And so I made this difficult exercise to help me out and to help you out. Until next time, my friends, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling.